Hi everybody, Lance the Option Teacher here. Today we're going to go over the earnings, economic reports, and technical analysis for November, it'll be 10 to 15, 2025. First, let's look at SPY. So SPY had a fairly volatile week. You can see it had a big down move into Thursday. Friday had a slightly up day, but we were looking down below at the volume level at the 664, actually went below that. You can see how I've been talking about volume profile quite a bit in this channel. If you're below the 664, it used it as a possible support and then moved up from here. And then we ended pretty much at the next volume level at the 670. So people were starting to get back into their positions at the high of the volume profile and then saw a slight recovery. We are down below the 9 and 21 EMAs, the blue and purple line, still above the 200 EMA. MACD did curl downward, and RSI, although it has a slight positive slope, we're pretty much in the middle of overbought and oversold, so could be a bit of movement, especially the government shutdown continuing. Let's look at QQQ. It's going to be very similar. Volume profile is your friend here. See at the 599, it got right to the 599, then bounced up with a hammer candle on the Friday. Had a pretty down week in general, but with this hammer candle, you have to see what's going to happen the rest of the week. I'll be going over that on my Discord in terms of what to look at based on this hammer candle we see. MACD also downward. RSI is pretty much even. Overbought, oversold, pretty much in the middle. IWM, we did talk about it last week. The volume at the 244 broke down on the Thursday, and then we don't have much below it. So in the small caps, there could be some further down movement. The Friday did end on the high, not as much of a hammer candle, but we did hit a low of around 236 or so. MACD is looking very negative. RSI is near middle of overbought, oversold with a positive slope. The volatility did not dramatically change except for Friday when we were actually at 22.7 in the RSI. The rest of the week we were staying in the typical range around 18, 19. So if you look from the Thursday candle, we hit a low of 17.54. And then we did hit a high of 22. So that's a fairly dramatic move in 2 days. However, we did drop back down. So there could be some consolidation on the VIX as well. For earnings this week, it's not as busy as last week where we had major tech sectors. We do have Cisco, Rumble, Disney. And those are the biggest that I see for the week. If you look at for economic reports, we do have some of the FOMC members speaking on Wednesday. Thursday, nothing. So relatively quiet week. However, you need to look at the look at the government reports because maybe the government will open up possibly pretty soon. We're at the longest government shutdown, I think, in history, they said. As these are tentative for Friday, there's a chance that the government might open up. So Friday morning, look at PPI and retail sales. And we do have a few other FOMC members speak. So hopefully that was helpful. If you'd like to get more further insight from me, you could click the description down below for my Discord. I am doing a new channel on option ETFs. So if you're at or near retirement or in an accumulation phase, I go over different covered call ETFs and how they could help with your long-term goals. Again, Lance the Option Teacher here. Hope you guys have a good rest of the weekend, and I'll see you guys on the next one.